Sabi ko, I'm gonna tell and Mary bottom to jump, pretending I was playing the piano on the podium. You got a lot of fun, oh baby. When they started clapping, yeah, baby. Whoa, baby. When mga klasiko, okay pa. I learned the ukulele at age 8. I was in Baguio. We were living then with my grandfather. We had a condominium of 4 units there, and we shared it with some uncles. And I went to the garage, and this driver of my lolo, his name was Honorio. I still remember, was playing the ukulele, and natuwa ako. I'm like, okay, to. That's how I learned. I learned a few chords from him. Then I shifted to the guitar when I was about 11. And my first guitar had a very high action. You know, the action is the space between the string and the fretboard. Eh, mga gitara no araw dun sa, I just bought a guitar from Ramon. Lumano guitar yata. Nasugatan ako. Hirap. Ang lalaki ng mga strings. Wala pa YouTube. Mahirap talaga. I don't really remember. I guess just by looking at movies or what, people knew the chord A and D. So that was not too hard. But the real hard one was the technique. How could they bend the string like this? If the string was so large, you know? They invented strings that were very thin. First, they used banjo strings dito to bend, mga blues players. Anyway, that's another story. But so we were not, kasi the Philippines, you could not really learn from anybody rock and roll, because we were the pioneers. And even in the States, sila Elvis, yung mga gitarista ni Elvis. So there's no peers to look at how do you do this. Well, I don't know, I guess we developed slowly, you know. I would say that we were really the pioneers, like the Ventures, Shadows, yung mga ganon. Yung full electric band, instrumental. So I liked instrumentals because you sounded like a foreign band. Because hindi narinig yung boss mo, hindi narinig yung accent mo and everything. So when they hear, yan ba yung Ventures or something. Pero kami yun. So I mean, it was our way on how to open up to the universal. I made my first hit when I was actually 15, because after my gig in Ateneo, which was December 5, 1960, at that time, the combo fever swept the country. Garage bands. So everybody was putting up instrumental bands. The Ventures in America were the most famous instrumental band. Now they call it surf music. They called it surf music, but it was not like that. And then the Shadows in England. Yeah. I made my first hit when I was 15, Weightless, instrumental number. Simple enough. So Weightless, it sounded like space. So I called it Weightless. It became a big hit, released by Dyna Records, James D. So I had my first record when I was between 15 and 16, yeah. 1961. And my own composition pa. At that time, we were just recording sa bahay. Yung mga stereo sets ng parents ko, kino-convert ko sa recording studio. Pero it worked, no? But the first multi-track came out. Multi-track means maraming tracks, no? You saw that multi-track there upstairs, tatlo. It was monaural and then stereo. That was the first multi-track, tatlo lang. The Beatles came, 4-track na. The Beatles recorded on 4 tracks. Pero itong first one. So I convinced my mother and to buy me a recording studio. So I set up a studio because she knew that it was my passion. And my father played piano, so he encouraged me. Nag-recording doon si John Marie Chan, si Pilita, the advertising agencies. So we were, and then Cinema Audio was already a good recording studio then, owned by Jose Marie Gonzalez. But we were the first ones that had that multi-track. In the backyard of our home, near the swimming pool, there was a lanai. Then in one of the dressing rooms, convert ko into a radio station. At that time, panay AM pa eh. Walang FM. There were only about, I don't know, maybe 10 stations in the whole Philippines, AM. So, wala pang FM noon. So I leased a station, a frequency, and then 1 or 2 years after, I got a franchise. Alone, I went to the congressman and said, "Can you sign my petition for a franchise?" So, you're the son of Don Fernando Jacinto. You're the son of Fernando Jacinto. What are you doing here? Well, I want to put up a radio station. Can you sign my petition for a franchise? Yeah. So, eventually, I owned my own station. I was grade 7, and my classmates can vouch for this. As a matter of fact, one of my classmates texted me what happened. One afternoon, I was grade 7. I don't know how old I was, maybe 11. The teacher was late. It's noon time. High school kami. Third or fourth year high school. All of a sudden, I found myself pounding on punta ako sa podium. Kasi we were milling around eh. So, they were there. Sabi ko, "I'm gonna tell Aunt Mary about to jump," pretending I was playing the piano on the podium. "You got a lot of fun, man. Oh, baby." When they started clapping, "Yeah, baby. Whoa, baby. Gonna have some fun tonight." Mga klasiko, okay pa. 12 years old yun. Because little Richard really hit me. Yun ang talagang malaking influence sa akin. No? He started me in rock and roll, really. Real rock and roll. I finished college when I was 19. Yeah, I had a degree, economics, yeah, BS economics. And then I joined, I was also training in security bank. We owned security back there. And also Jacinto Steel, the number one roof company. And then Iligan Steel, I became vice president for purchasing. At about 20 years old, like 20, 21, ganun. And I helped my father build the steel mill there in Iligan. We would purchase we purchased the structure. We built it. The senior vice president for sales and operations. Under me were about 3,000 people. I was very young. I was 22, 23, yeah. I left my music at that time. I could not do it. And my radio stations were run by my bandmates, Alan Austria AA, and that became the legendary Rajo Manila. We had the building in Santa Mesa where June Keith Lee called the people to EDSA. Sa Santa Mesa, that's an iconic building now. That's a historical place. DCRJ was there on top of, there was a little parang flying saucer, you know. So ang mga DJs ko, while I was in the steel mill, while I was in the steel business, my bandmates ran the radio station and became DJs, and they made it famous while I was gone, and the radio stations were sequestered. They made it Rajo Manila, and they discovered Pepe's Juan de la Cruz, Sampaguita. They gave way to because my philosophy was always ayoko nang pinapatutog sa ibang stasyon dahil ulit lang ng ulit. And at that time, malaki pa yung payola business. So sabi ko, I'd like to set up a radio station na walang bayaran. Basta kung ano mahusay na music. You know, record them and give them the chance to be exposed. You know, so it became Rajo Manila, became very, very famous. It discovered Maria Cafra and all this rock bands. We coined the word Pinoy rock. So you see, we built the steel mill in 1969. Tumatakbo na yun, kumikita na ng pera. And in 1972, I happened to be abroad. Martial law was declared. Kinuha sa amin. Martial law. So, ganun na nangyari. So from 1960, I guess 1965 to 70, mga 7 years. We had restaurants in New York, and joint venture with Mitsubishi. Pero mga maliit na negosyo. Ramen restaurants lang, just to have some businesses. Yun ang puntahan ng mga exiled. We had a lot of American executives then because it was a big organization. So, na-train ako in business talaga. And what I learned is, walang libre. You only harvest what you plant. So you have to go the extra mile. You have to be disciplined. You have to be a professional in anything you do. Yeah, that's what I learned. So, ganun, it taught me work ethic. Because marami nagtatanong ano bang formula to be successful? Kung may formula, hindi lahat tayo successful, sinabi ko. Instinct at saka luck, I guess, timing. Because I followed what I wanted. And I saw a need. Kasi, walang variety yung pinapatutog sa air. So, always find a need and see if you can feel it.